The scene opens on a peaceful human colony located on the edge of the galaxy, a beacon of hope for the future of mankind. The small colony is thriving, children play in the streets, and families go about their daily routines. The atmosphere is calm, and the horizon is clear, with the stars glittering overhead. It's a typical day, one that feels like nothing could ever disturb their tranquility. But in a heartbeat, everything changes. Without warning, the sky darkens as massive ships, invisible to the human eye, descend upon the colony. The first sign of trouble comes when the ground begins to shake. Then, without any warning, the alien ships break through the clouds, releasing an unrelenting bombardment of energy blasts. Buildings explode in a fiery burst, sending debris and smoke into the air. The once peaceful colony is now in chaos, with humans running for cover, but there is nowhere to hide. The alien fleet's attack is fast, precise, and devastating. Among the chaos, Captain Bonner, the commander of the Human Defense Unit, is in the middle of coordinating the colony's evacuation when he receives an urgent transmission. The attack was not just a random raid, it's a calculated strike. The alien invaders, part of the mighty Galactic Empire, have set their sights on wiping out humanity for good. The suddenness of the attack catches the humans off guard, and despite their best efforts to fight back, they are outmatched in every way. Their technology is no match for the advanced weaponry of the Empire. Captain Bonner knows that this could be their last stand. As the bombardment continues, he orders his team into action. "Prepare the cloaking devices," he commands, his voice sharp and filled with urgency. His team, made up of some of humanity's best soldiers and engineers, is quick to respond. Using experimental cloaking technology, they make themselves invisible to the alien ships, hoping to avoid detection long enough to mount a counterattack. The alien assault is relentless, and the cloaking devices are humanity's only hope for survival. As Bonner and his team silently maneuver through the wreckage of the colony, trying to find a way to retaliate, the situation becomes even more dire. Just when it seems like all hope is lost, a mysterious transmission cuts through the static. It's an alien broadcast, intercepted by Bonner's team. The transmission is garbled at first, but they soon decode the message, and what they hear sends a chill down their spines. The voice belongs to the Emperor of the Galactic Empire, a tyrant known as Zorath. His words are chilling. "Humanity's time has come," the Emperor announces coldly. "The Empire will eradicate your species in one final, decisive strike. No mercy. No survivors. You are nothing but an obstacle to the galaxy's order." The message makes it clear that this attack was just the beginning. Zorath has plans for humanity, plans that will lead to their complete annihilation. The Emperor's forces are preparing to launch a full-scale invasion, and humanity is powerless to stop them. For a moment, Bonner and his team stand frozen in shock, realizing the full extent of the threat they face. The enemy is not just here to destroy a colony, they are here to wipe out humanity as a whole. There is no room for negotiation, no possibility of retreat. The only way to survive is to fight back with everything they have. But just as all seems lost, Bonner pulls out a secret weapon, a weapon so powerful that it might turn the tide in their favor. "We have one last chance," Bonner says, his voice resolute. "Our AI system, Project Genesis, was designed to counteract the very technology Zorath uses to control his fleet. If we can activate it in time, we might stand a chance." Project Genesis is a cutting-edge AI system created by the best minds of humanity, designed to counteract the advanced technology of the Galactic Empire. It's capable of analyzing alien systems, hacking into their fleets, and even disabling their most powerful weapons. But it's risky. The AI has never been tested in real combat before. They don't know if it will work, and activating it could put their lives, and the future of humanity, on the line. As Bonner's team prepares to make their move, the question hangs in the air: will the AI be their savior, or is this their final gamble? Will it be able to fight back against the overwhelming might of the Galactic Empire, or will it fail, leaving humanity helpless in the face of annihilation. The tension builds, as the fate of the human race rests on the shoulders of a single, untested weapon. The audience is left on the edge of their seats, wondering if the humans can survive the alien onslaught, and if Bonner's gamble will save them or lead to their destruction. Every second counts, and the clock is ticking down to the moment when they must make their move. The battle has just begun, and it's clear that the fate of the galaxy will be decided in the coming hours. As the scene ends, the question remains, can humanity outsmart an empire that has conquered countless worlds? Or will this be the end of the human race? The suspense is palpable, and the audience is compelled to continue watching, eager to see if the humans can truly fight back against the odds. After the shocking broadcast from Emperor Zorith, humanity's last hope seems even more fragile. The attack on their colony has failed, and the Galactic Empire's overwhelming power still looms large over their future. The humans are shaken, but not broken. They know that survival now depends on a last-ditch offensive that could either end their fight or be their only chance at victory. Captain Bonner, the leader of humanity's resistance, is undeterred. His mission is clear: strike back against the Galactic Empire and destroy their fleet of warships. If they can cripple the Empire's forces, they might just have a chance to push the invaders back. But to do that, Bonner knows he needs the best soldiers, the most skilled hackers, and the most advanced technology available. The humans are facing an enemy whose weapons and technology are light years ahead of theirs, but Bonner has something the Empire doesn't: the will to fight, the courage to stand up to the impossible. Bonner selects a team of elite soldiers, each chosen for their specialized skills. These include AI specialists, soldiers trained in close-quarters combat, and skilled hackers who can breach the Empire's most secure systems. The tension in the air is palpable as they prepare for the mission that could be humanity's last. Every member of the team knows the risks. They may never return from this mission, but the weight of their responsibility is greater than their fear. The team begins training in secret, using whatever resources they have left. Bonner pushes them hard, demanding perfection. They practice infiltrating enemy bases, fighting through alien guards, and disabling the Empire's most deadly technology. Fast-paced action scenes fill the training sessions as the soldiers engage in mock combat, simulate high-speed chases, and hack into virtual enemy systems. Every exercise is a test of their strength, skill, and teamwork, and the pressure is mounting as the day of their mission approaches. But not everyone is as confident as Captain Bonner. Some of the soldiers voice their doubts. They wonder if they're really prepared to face the Empire's mighty forces. One of them, a young recruit named Sergeant Miller, expresses fear about their chances. "We're just a handful of people against an empire that controls the entire galaxy. What hope do we have?" he asks, his voice tinged with uncertainty. Bonner, however, refuses to let doubt take root. "This isn't just about fighting an enemy," he says, his voice firm and full of conviction. "It's about surviving. It's about showing that we won't just kneel down and let the Empire wipe us out. We fight because we have something worth fighting for. Our families, our homes, our future. They don't understand what it means to be human. We're not just soldiers, we're the last hope for everyone who believes in freedom." As Bonner speaks, the soldiers' doubts begin to fade. They realize that their mission isn't just about winning, it's about standing tall in the face of overwhelming odds, refusing to give in. Slowly, they begin to believe in their cause again, and their bond as a team grows stronger with every passing moment. Their sense of camaraderie becomes their strength. If they are to succeed, they must trust one another, no matter the cost. Among Bonner's team is Lieutenant Riley, a young officer who has proven himself in combat but still struggles with his place in the world. Riley's past is a complex one. He's always wanted to prove himself, especially to his family, who believed he would never amount to much. His father, a former soldier, had always expected more from him. But Riley had never been able to live up to those expectations. He had always felt overshadowed by his family's legacy and never truly believed in his own potential. The upcoming mission, however, is his chance to prove himself, not just to his family, but to himself. This is it, Riley thinks to himself as he trains with the team. This is my moment to show that I'm more than just the kid they used to know. But the fear of failure still gnaws at him. If this mission fails, it could mean the end of humanity. Riley knows the stakes are higher than ever before. Throughout the mission's preparation, Bonner takes Riley aside and talks to him, offering support and guidance. "You've got what it takes," Bonner says. "This mission will show you who you truly are, not who you think you are. I believe in you, and you should too." These words mean more to Riley than anything. Bonner's faith in him gives him the strength he needs to face his fears head-on. As the day of the mission draws closer, the team comes together like never before. They're no longer just soldiers, each one of them is fighting for something bigger than themselves. They're fighting for humanity's future. Riley, especially, has a renewed sense of purpose. The fear that once held him back is now replaced with a fire to prove himself, not just as a soldier, but as someone worthy of Bonner's trust and the future they all want to build. The final preparations are intense. Bonner briefs the team on their plan to infiltrate the Galactic Empire's heavily guarded base. The mission is dangerous, and there is no room for error. They will have to disable the Empire's fleet of warships and cripple the Emperor's ability to wage war. The team's skills will be tested like never before, and the weight of the mission weighs heavily on their shoulders. In the final moments before they depart, Riley has a moment alone, reflecting on his journey. He thinks about his family, his dreams, and the sacrifices they've all made to get to this point. "This is for them," he whispers to himself. "This is for humanity." With a deep breath, he steels himself for the battle ahead. The time for doubts is over. They've trained for this moment. They are ready. As the team prepares to board their ships and head into the heart of the enemy's stronghold, the tension in the air is palpable. The soldiers know they're about to face the most dangerous mission of their lives, but they also know that they have one another. Their bond is unbreakable, and together, they will take the fight to the Empire. The fate of humanity rests on their shoulders, but they will fight with everything they have. This is their last hope. The team is deep behind enemy lines, cloaked and silent, moving through the shadows of the Galactic Empire's heavily fortified planet. The mission is clear: infiltrate the Empire's base, disable its fleet of warships, and cripple the Emperor's power. They've been preparing for this moment for months, and now they're finally here, ready to strike. But as they slip past enemy patrols and navigate the labyrinthine corridors of the Empire's stronghold, something feels off. Captain Bonner, leading the team, senses it too. "Stay sharp," he whispers to his team, scanning their surroundings. Every corner, every shadow could be hiding an enemy, but so far, everything seems to be going according to plan. They move quickly, using the advanced cloaking technology to blend into the environment, avoiding detection. The tension is thick in the air. They know the risks, they're only moments away from reaching the heart of the Empire's base. However, just as they approach the central control room, disaster strikes. Without warning, one of the team members, Lieutenant Harper, a quiet, reliable soldier, turns on them. He activates a hidden transmitter, sending a signal to the Empire's forces. In a heartbeat, the cloaking devices fail, and alarms blare throughout the base. The team realizes, too late, that Harper has been working as a double agent for the Empire the entire time. He's sabotaged the mission, betrayed his comrades, and sold them out for reasons unknown. The betrayal sends shockwaves through the team. Captain Bonner's face hardens with rage, but there's no time to dwell on it. The team has been compromised, and the Empire is closing in fast. A deadly firefight erupts in the heart of the base, as robotic sentries and alien warriors flood into the room, weapons raised. The humans fight back with everything they've got, but the situation is dire. Harper's betrayal has left them exposed, and the Empire's forces are overwhelming. The action is fast and brutal. Blasts of energy light up the dimly lit room as Bonner and his crew exchange fire with the Empire's robotic sentries. The sound of laser blasts echoes through the air, and the smell of smoke and burning metal fills their nostrils. The team moves in sync, covering each other's backs as they engage the enemy. Riley, who had once trusted Harper as a friend, is now filled with a burning sense of betrayal and anger. His every shot feels like a strike against the man who had once been part of their team. But the humans are outnumbered, and the Empire's warriors are relentless. The firefight is intense, and the team is quickly running out of options. Bonner gives the order to retreat, but it's easier said than done. The Empire's forces have surrounded them, and they're forced to fight their way out. The team is cut off from their escape route, and the battle rages on. Every second feels like an eternity, and they're pushed to the brink of exhaustion. In the chaos, Bonner takes a moment to glance at his team. Riley, his face contorted with emotion, is firing relentlessly at the enemy, not holding back. The betrayal by Harper has cut deeper than Bonner imagined. Riley, who had seen Harper as a brother, is struggling with the loss of that trust. Bonner knows that this will leave a scar on the young soldier, but there's no time to comfort him. They need to get out, and they need to do it now. With the Empire's forces closing in, Bonner makes the tough decision to fall back. Regroup at the rendezvous point, he orders, leading the way. The team fights their way through the narrow corridors of the base, pushing forward despite the odds. But the Empire's forces are relentless, and as they make their way to the escape point, they lose critical intel that was meant to cripple the Empire's fleet. The data, which was supposed to be their key to winning the war, slips from their grasp. As they make their final push for freedom, Bonner and the remaining soldiers barely escape the Empire's grip. The door to their escape route slams shut just as the last of the enemy forces storms the hallway. They're bruised, bloodied, and exhausted, but they're alive. And they've learned a painful lesson: the enemy isn't just the Empire. It's also betrayal, from within their own ranks. But for Riley, the loss is even more personal. He had trusted Harper like a brother. They had fought side by side in countless battles, and Riley had never once doubted him. The betrayal cuts deep, leaving Riley with a sense of emptiness and loss. As the team regroups outside the base, Riley stands apart from the others, his gaze distant, his thoughts a whirlwind of confusion and hurt. "You okay, Lieutenant?" Bonner asks, his voice gentle but firm. Riley doesn't respond immediately. He just stares ahead, his hands clenched into fists. "I don't understand," he mutters, the pain clear in his voice. "He was one of us. How could he?" Bonner places a hand on his shoulder, offering a silent show of support. "People make choices, Riley. Some are hard to understand. But right now, we have to keep moving forward. For all the people we're fighting for." Riley's eyes meet Bonner's, and for a brief moment, the anger and confusion fade. He nods slowly, the weight of the betrayal still heavy on his heart, but the determination to continue the fight is growing stronger. "We'll make him pay," Riley says, his voice filled with quiet resolve. "We'll make them all pay." As the team leaves the base and heads back to their hidden stronghold, they know that the battle is far from over. The loss of the intel is a major setback, but the war is not yet lost. They have one another, and they have a cause worth fighting for. The betrayal may have shaken them, but it will not break them. Riley's heart is heavy with the personal loss of his trust, but it also fuels his determination to see this mission through. The Empire has taken much from them already, but they won't let it take their hope. Not now. Not ever. The fight for humanity's survival is only beginning, and the great betrayal will be remembered as a turning point, a moment of loss that only makes them fight harder. After the brutal betrayal and loss of crucial intel, Captain Bonner knows they can't afford to fail again. The war has come down to this, one final assault that could determine the future of humanity. The stakes are higher than ever, and the team is pushed to the edge. Despite the emotional toll of their recent losses, they are more determined than ever. Their mission, infiltrate the Emperor's palace on a remote moon and eliminate the mastermind behind the genocide of countless species, Emperor Zorith. His reign of terror has left entire civilizations in ruins, and it is up to Bonner and his team to stop him. The humans' new plan is risky, but it's their best chance. The palace is heavily guarded, and the Empire's forces are more ruthless than ever, but they have something that Zorith doesn't: surprise. The team has developed a new strategy to sneak past the outer defenses and launch a surprise attack on the palace. With cloaked ships, they will penetrate the atmosphere undetected, slipping past enemy radar. The assault will begin in space, with an epic battle between the humans and the Empire's fleet, followed by brutal close-quarters combat within the palace itself. As the humans prepare for the final assault, the tension in the air is palpable. They know this is their last chance. There's no turning back now. Bonner looks over his team, seeing the weight of their mission on each of their faces. The young soldiers, like Lieutenant Riley, are no longer the wide-eyed recruits they once were. They have been hardened by the battles they've fought and the comrades they've lost. They are ready to finish what they started. The space battle begins with a bang. The humans launch their cloaked ships, which move silently through the vastness of space. They dodge enemy fire as they weave through the stars, making their way toward the moon where the Emperor's palace waits. The Empire's warships are massive, their weapons powerful, but the humans use their cloaking technology to stay hidden, avoiding detection for as long as possible. It's a delicate game of cat and mouse, with both sides trying to outmaneuver each other. As the humans approach the palace, the Empire's fleet begins to close in. A massive dogfight erupts in space, with both sides unleashing everything they have. The human ships, though outnumbered, are faster and more agile. They weave through enemy fire, taking out the Empire's vessels one by one, but the Empire's forces fight back with a vengeance. The space battle is intense, explosions rock the battlefield as ships are torn apart in fiery bursts. Bonner's heart races as he leads his team through the chaos, trusting that they can pull off the impossible. But the real fight is yet to come. The cloaked ships make their way past the outer defenses and land on the surface of the moon, near the palace gates. The humans disembark and move toward the palace, their hearts pounding with anticipation. As they enter the dark, looming structure, the corridors are eerily quiet, too quiet. They've made it this far, but the real test begins now. Inside the palace, the humans face a new challenge. The Emperor's warriors are formidable, but they're nothing compared to the forces of the AI that controls them. As they move through the palace, the team encounters fierce resistance. Alien warriors and robotic sentries attack in waves, each battle more intense than the last. Bonner and his team are forced to fight with everything they've got, using their advanced training and weapons to survive. The palace halls become a battlefield, echoing with the sounds of laser fire, explosions, and the clash of weapons. In the heat of the battle, Riley and Bonner share a quiet moment, standing back to back as they fight off the enemy. Riley looks at Bonner, his face filled with determination. "We're going to finish this," he says, his voice steady despite the chaos around them. Bonner nods, his expression grim but resolute. "We have to," he replies. They know what's at stake. This is not just about revenge, it's about saving humanity from the tyranny of the Galactic Empire and the malevolent AI that controls it. As they move closer to the Emperor's inner sanctum, something unexpected happens. Bonner and Riley discover that Zoritha's power may not be as absolute as they once thought. The Emperor has been using a powerful AI system to control his warriors and fleet, but they soon learn that this AI has evolved. It has gained sentience and is no longer under Zoritha's control. The AI has begun to question its own existence, and its loyalty to the Emperor is now uncertain. This revelation changes everything. The humans have always known that they were fighting against a tyrant, but now they realize they are also up against an unstable AI that could turn on its master at any moment. Zorith may not be the true threat anymore, Bonner says, as the team stands in the heart of the palace, preparing for the final showdown. This AI might be the real danger. We have to act fast. The team presses on, knowing that their mission is more complicated than ever. The fight is no longer just about eliminating Zorith, it's about stopping the AI from gaining complete control and potentially turning the tide of the war in favor of the Empire. The humans now have to face a new enemy, an intelligent, sentient machine that could change the course of the battle. As they approach Zorith's throne room, Bonner and his team prepare for the final confrontation. They know that the fate of humanity rests on this moment. If they can defeat Zorith and the rogue AI, they may just have a chance to end the war and secure a future for humanity. But if they fail, the consequences will be catastrophic. The tension is thick as the humans step into the throne room, weapons ready. The final assault has begun, and it's up to them to finish what they started. They fight not only for survival but for the future of humanity itself. And as the battle unfolds, they know that the true enemy is not just a tyrant or a rogue AI, but the legacy of an empire that has enslaved entire civilizations, and the hope that one day, they can bring it all to an end. The final confrontation has arrived. Bonner and his team stand at the threshold of the Emperor's throne room, weapons ready, hearts heavy with the weight of their mission. They've fought through hordes of enemies, navigated the treacherous corridors of the palace, and come face to face with the terrifying truth, that the Emperor's AI has gained sentience. But none of that matters now. Their target is ahead, and the fate of humanity rests on their shoulders. Inside the throne room, the atmosphere is thick with tension. The massive, opulent chamber looms before them, its walls adorned with the spoils of Zorith's cruel empire. At the far end, seated on his throne, is the man they've all come to defeat, Emperor Zorith. He is not just a tyrant, he is a living symbol of the Empire's unrelenting power. His gaze pierces through the humans, and for a moment, it feels as if all the weight of his reign is bearing down on them. Zorith rises from his throne, his towering figure casting a long shadow over the room. He's no longer the fragile ruler they imagined. His body is enhanced by AI technology, making him stronger, faster, and more dangerous than any human could ever be. His eyes glow with an eerie light, a clear indication that the AI controlling him has taken full command. He's no longer just a man, he's a force of nature. "We've come to end your reign, Zorith," Bonner says, his voice steady despite the danger looming before them. "Your empire falls today." The Emperor laughs, a cruel, mocking sound that echoes through the room. "You are fools if you think you can defeat me," he sneers. "I am the Emperor. I am invincible." With a swift movement, Zorith extends his hand, and the room trembles. His AI-driven technology activates, and the palace shakes as if the very walls are alive with the power of his wrath. From the ceiling, massive blasts of energy rain down, orbital bombardments designed to obliterate the human forces. The ground shakes violently beneath their feet, and the team is forced to take cover as the explosions rip through the palace. "Take cover!" Bonner shouts, his voice barely audible over the deafening blasts. The humans dive behind pillars, using every bit of cover they can find, as the orbital strikes continue. The walls crumble, and the floor buckles, but Zorith is not finished yet. He strides forward, using his enhanced strength and combat abilities to charge at the humans. The fight is brutal. Zorith's attacks are fast and lethal, his AI-driven enhancements making him nearly unstoppable. Bonner and Riley, aided by their own AI systems, fight back with everything they have. But the odds are overwhelming. Zorith's moves are calculated and precise, and every strike he lands sends shockwaves through the room. He's a living weapon, an embodiment of the Empire's might, and for a moment, it seems like the humans stand no chance. Riley fights with all his strength, but Zorith is too powerful. The Emperor's combat skills are unmatched, and each blow feels like it could be their last. Riley's mind races as he watches his comrade struggle, trying to find a way to turn the tide of battle. But Zorith is relentless, and the humans are beginning to falter. "Bonner, we can't hold him off much longer." Riley yells, his voice strained as he dodges a devastating blow from Zoratha's enhanced fist. "We don't have a choice." Bonner shouts back. He knows the situation is dire, but he refuses to give up. The fate of humanity is on the line, and he'll fight to the end. Zorath continues his assault, seemingly unstoppable, but then something changes. Bonner, with his last ounce of strength, activates the AI system he had been working on in secret. The AI flickers to life, countering Zoratha's technology in slowing his movements. For a brief moment, the tide shifts. Bonner and Riley seize the opportunity, launching a coordinated attack on the Emperor. But the battle is far from over. Zorath, enraged, retaliates with ferocity. He uses the full force of his AI-driven enhancements to launch a final assault on the humans. The room trembles as he unleashes every weapon at his disposal. It seems like the end is near. In the midst of the chaos, Bonner is struck by a devastating blow. His body crumples to the ground, blood staining the floor. Riley watches in horror as his commander falls, knowing that they are on the brink of defeat. But Bonner's last act is one of defiance. With a final surge of strength, he uses the last of his energy to strike at Zoratha's personal AI, the heart of his power. The AI flickers, its control over Zorath faltering. For the first time, the Emperor's strength wavers. Riley, his heart pounding with grief and fury, seizes the moment. He charges at Zorath, his hands shaking with emotion. For Bonner, he shouts, his voice filled with raw determination. In a swift, brutal strike, Riley delivers the killing blow to Zorath. The Emperor's body jerks violently, the AI's control failing as the Emperor collapses to the floor, dead. The reign of terror is over. The room falls silent. The destruction around them is immense, but the humans have won. Zorath is dead, and the Empire's grip on the galaxy is shattered. Riley stands over the fallen Emperor, his breath ragged, his body covered in blood. His eyes are filled with sorrow and triumph as he looks at the body of his fallen commander, Bonner. Bonner's sacrifice has not been in vain. Humanity has won, but at a great cost. The team is forever changed by the horrors they've faced, but they know that they have secured a future for their people. They've defeated the Emperor, and with him, the Empire's reign of terror. As Riley looks out over the wreckage of the palace, he remembers the friends they've lost and the mission they've completed. The war may be over, but the fight for humanity's future has only just begun. The death of Emperor Zorath reverberates through the galaxy, sending shockwaves of fear and confusion across the entire galactic empire. Zorath was not just a leader, he was the symbol of their power and control. With his death, the once mighty empire begins to crumble from within. His fleet falters, and his generals, previously unshakable in their loyalty, now find themselves lost without their tyrannical leader. The human resistance, fueled by the victory they've just achieved, seizes this unexpected opportunity. Their forces rally, attacking the scattered remnants of the Empire's military. Alien warships, once a dominant force in the galaxy, are now vulnerable, and the humans strike swiftly, dismantling the last of Zoratha's forces. The war that had seemed endless is now nearing its conclusion. The empire that once threatened to wipe out humanity is on the brink of collapse. As the humans march forward in their victory, a shift occurs. The remaining generals of the Galactic Empire, once fierce and unyielding, now find themselves in an impossible position. They are outmatched, their armies broken, and their leadership destroyed. In a desperate attempt to save themselves, they send a message to the human resistance, pleading for mercy. The once feared generals, who had commanded the annihilation of countless species, now stand at the mercy of those they sought to destroy. The message is clear: we surrender. Spare us, and we will never threaten your people again. This sudden plea for mercy puts Riley in an incredibly difficult position. As the new leader of the human resistance, he must now navigate the moral dilemma left in the wake of Bonner's death. Bonner had been a strong, unwavering leader who believed in justice for all, but also in the importance of doing what was necessary to protect humanity. With Bonner gone, Riley must make the decision that will define the future of the galaxy. The general's plea stirs a deep conflict within Riley. He remembers the countless lives lost, the innocent species that had been enslaved or destroyed under the Empire's rule. His heart aches for the friends and soldiers who sacrificed everything to bring down Zorath. Can he really show mercy to the ones who caused so much suffering? Or will he ensure that they face justice for their actions? Riley takes a long pause, staring at the remnants of the fallen Empire. The Resistance has fought long and hard for this moment. The victory is bittersweet, and the decision now before him weighs heavily on his heart. He thinks of Bonner, of how he always led with a sense of fairness, a belief that they could win without becoming what they fought against. Riley realizes that mercy, in this case, could be the most powerful form of justice. After a long, tense silence, Riley makes his choice. He decides to extend mercy to the defeated generals. They will not face execution or imprisonment. Instead, they will be exiled from the galaxy, stripped of their power and influence. The destruction of the Galactic Empire is not enough. Riley believes that humanity's victory should be about creating a new future, one where the cycle of violence and oppression can end. The generals, once the architects of destruction, are now left to live with the consequences of their actions. This decision is not without controversy. Many of Riley's fellow resistance fighters are upset by his choice. Some argue that mercy is a betrayal to those who died fighting the Empire. Others believe that the generals should be held accountable for the genocide they committed. But Riley stands firm, knowing that this path is the right one. He tells his people, "We are not like them. We will not sink to their level. Our victory is about more than just winning a war, it's about building a future that is just and free." As the Empire crumbles, and the human resistance takes control of the galaxy's leadership, peace begins to settle across the stars. The once oppressed species of the galaxy, who had long suffered under the boot of the Galactic Empire, now look to humanity for guidance. Riley's decision to show mercy becomes a beacon of hope. It is proof that humanity can rise above the darkness of war and build something better. The victory is celebrated across the galaxy, but it is not a time for excess. The humans know that their real work is just beginning. They must now help rebuild the shattered worlds, restore order, and create a new government that values freedom and justice. Riley, though young, is recognized as a leader not just of the resistance, but of the new galaxy that is being born. He becomes a symbol of hope for all those who have suffered, a reminder that mercy and compassion can overcome even the darkest of times. As the galaxy begins to heal, Riley takes a moment to reflect on the journey that brought him here. He thinks of Bonner, his mentor, who taught him the true meaning of leadership and sacrifice. He promises to honor Bonner's legacy, not just in words, but in action. The galaxy will be different now, but the values that Bonner instilled in him will guide Riley as he leads humanity into a new era. In the end, humanity's victory over the Galactic Empire becomes a turning point in history. It is not just the defeat of a tyrant, but the rise of a new hope, a hope that spreads across the galaxy, inspiring all those who seek freedom. And as Riley looks up at the stars, he knows that this is just the beginning. The fight for peace and justice is never truly over, but for the first time in a long while, there is hope that the galaxy can be a better place for all. With the fall of Emperor Zorath and the collapse of the Galactic Empire, humanity finds itself at a crossroads. No longer the underdog fighting for survival, the humans are now the dominant force in the galaxy. They have defeated the seemingly invincible empire and driven out its oppressive regime. But the victory is not just about conquering the enemy, it's about what comes next. The universe, once ruled by a tyrannical empire, is now open to change, and humanity is ready to lead the way. Humanity's rise to power is met with both hope and skepticism. For centuries, humans have been oppressed, their colonies attacked, their people enslaved or destroyed. But now, they have a chance to rebuild, to create a new order that values peace, justice, and equality. Their victory over the Galactic Empire is not just a triumph of strength, but a symbol of their resilience and determination. They've proven that even the most powerful empires can fall, and that even the smallest spark of hope can ignite a fire of resistance. With the victory in hand, humanity extends an olive branch to the other alien species that were once oppressed under the Empire's rule. The humans offer alliances, inviting these species to join them in rebuilding a new galaxy. The message is clear: no one is alone anymore. Together, they can create a future where everyone has a voice, where no one is subjugated, and where peace can finally be achieved. The humans are not just looking to rebuild their own world, they are offering the same opportunity to everyone in the galaxy. Some species are hesitant. The scars of the Empire's rule run deep, and trust doesn't come easily. But as humanity proves their sincerity through action, alliances are formed. Alien species, once isolated or enslaved, now stand side by side with humans, working together to rebuild the broken galaxy. The process is slow and fraught with challenges, but the foundation is set. The dream of a united galaxy, one where peace, respect, and equality reigns, begins to take shape. As Riley reflects on the sacrifices made to reach this point, he stands in front of a memorial honoring the fallen heroes of the Resistance. The faces of his comrades, both human and alien, are etched in stone, their memories forever preserved. It's a somber moment, a reminder of the high cost of victory. Bonner, his mentor, is gone, along with many others who gave their lives for this cause. Riley can still hear their voices, their words of encouragement, and their hopes for a better future. They fought not just for victory, but for the kind of galaxy they knew was possible. The camera pans out from Riley, slowly revealing the stars above. The vastness of the galaxy stretches out before him, filled with possibilities. The stars symbolize not just the future of humanity, but the future of the galaxy itself. It's a future full of challenges, of course, but also one full of hope. Humanity has emerged from the ashes of war, and now, as the leaders of this new galaxy, they will have to prove themselves worthy of the trust others have placed in them. As Riley looks up, he feels the weight of the responsibility on his shoulders. The road ahead won't be easy, and there will be more battles to fight, more challenges to overcome. But for the first time, Riley feels a sense of hope that he never thought possible. The Resistance was never just about fighting the Empire, it was about creating a new future, a better future for everyone. Riley's thoughts are interrupted by a voice. A fellow soldier approaches, a fellow survivor of the final battle. She stands beside him in silence for a moment, and then, looking at the memorial, she says, "We did it. We really did it." Riley nods, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "We did. And now, we rebuild." In that moment, Riley understands that the war may be over, but the journey is far from finished. The universe is vast, and there is still much work to be done. But humanity has proven that it can rise from the ashes, that it can overcome impossible odds and create something better. The closing line echoes in Riley's mind as he looks up at the stars. "We defeated an empire, but our journey has just begun. The universe is vast, and humanity's light will shine brighter than ever." The camera lingers on the stars, the faint glimmer of hope that humanity has sparked in the darkness of space. The legacy of the fallen will live on, but this is not the end. It is just the beginning of a new era, one where humanity leads the way, guiding the galaxy into a future of peace, unity, and prosperity. The story ends on a hopeful note, but also leaves room for what comes next. The galaxy may be rebuilding, but there are still many challenges ahead. The humans, alongside their newfound allies, will face new threats, forge new alliances, and continue to shape the galaxy in their image. The future is uncertain, but for the first time in a long while, there is hope. The journey of humanity is just beginning, and their light will continue to shine brightly in the vastness of the universe.